Hey there, Space Cadets. Welcome back to Rabbit's Refuse, a channel where we look at oddities, cultural cast-offs, but mostly unusual children's media. I'm Rabbit, and today...
Happy Valentine's!
I'm already making plans for my big date night. With my Blu-ray player, and my Criterion. But that's only because my VHS collection and I are not on speaking terms right now. It did me dirty this morning. See, I thought that I had the perfect film on VHS for this episode. I mean, it was set around Valentine's Day, or at least that's what the box said. It had a dismal 2.1 star rating on IMDb, and the first user review was entitled, "Hi, I'm Kevin Summerfield, director of The Adventures of Young VanHelsing, and I've just taken a dump on your lawn. Can I have $5? Being the cinematic masochist that I am, my reaction was, well... So I popped the VHS tape into my player/ripping rig. Unfortunately, my arch nemesis arrived. Copy protection. So I couldn't even watch it through my monitor. All I could do was hear it, and I had a completely gray screen. Disappointment washed over me like waves on the shore. But I knew that I needed this particular piece of schlock. I decided to hop onto eBay and grab a DVD version. So I ended up purchasing it cheaper than anyone else had it listed. And, get this, it was from a seller in my own state that was less than 2 hours away from me. Fabulous, I thought. This DVD will show up in like 2 days after it gets shipped. It's so close, how could it not? Oh, how wrong I was.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
So well over a week later, I had the DVD in hand, after it crossed state lines. Several times. It went to 2 different states before it landed at my house. It passed my home 2 times. Now I'm blessed with both the DVD and the VHS versions of this film in my collections. Hooray. It also doesn't really have that much to do with Valentine's Day in general. I mean, there are a couple of decorations like here and there just scattered around, and then the main character's band plays at his high school's Valentine's Day dance. That's literally it. Oh, and this film is a mockbuster as well. But it's not what you think it's gonna be. By the way, if you don't know what mockbusters are, that's totally fine. A mockbuster is a rip-off version of a popular film, show, or pop culture phenomenon. So, good examples would be Ratatouille, Little Panda Fighter, or Snakes on a Train. We'll be right back.
Hey, tomorrow we win! Now listen.
Here he goes again.
Okay, listen up. We don't have to just want to win.
Look,
We gotta
it's
need
him.
it. We gotta
Close
want
to
it.
his
We gotta be hungry to win. Are you hungry?
For SpaghettiOs.
All right. Here's the game plan. Are we gonna win? Yeah! Okay, let's open those playbooks. Now, we're gonna want this so bad. What are we gonna do?
Eat SpaghettiOs!
Huh?
It's gotta be, SpaghettiOs.
And now, our feature presentation.
The Adventures of Young VanHelsing, The Quest for the Lost Scepter is an adventure horror film from 2004. It was directed by Kevin Summerfield, our proverbial lawn dumper, and stars Keith Jordan, Ned Narang, and Joe Zasso. Normally, I would consider kids' media to be pretty self-explanatory, but I know that this film is rated PG-13. Bear in mind, it is very obviously aimed towards a preteen and young teen audience. Whether we liked it or not at that age, we were still kids, so this totally counts. This film only exists to rip off the Indiana Jones franchise. with no real shame about it either. There was no real buzz for Indiana Jones at this time, at least as far as my research tells me. I guess Mr. Summerfield just really wanted to fill an indie-shaped hole in our hearts, but he got it all wrong. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. We open on a white child in low-quality blatant brownface, and a supermarket brand Indiana Jones. That's the quality level we're looking at here, folks. The child is some kind of knockoff short round, and the two are fighting against a demon. Pseudo-Indy is introduced to us as Dr. Abraham VanHelsing. We get some serious middle school stage play adaptation vibes, and a dramatic and unexplained fight with the demon ensues. And then the villain just kind of explodes. Cut to present day, we meet some archaeologists doing a dig, and we are also introduced to Professor Arad. He's a bumbling doofus who leaves spaces more expansive than the Midwestern prairie between his responses in his dialogue. He also has no concept of tone or situational awareness. I'll just be calling him the Professor from now on. The archaeologists begin to dig up an exciting new find that they can't quite explain, and suddenly the person working closest to said artifact touches it and immediately catches on fire. Some other crazy stuff happens, a bunch of people get killed, he blows up the professor's halogen lights and his vintage computer setup with what appears to be fireworks, and then he escapes. To say all of this is really bad would be a massive understatement.
This is bad. This is very bad.
Okay, so maybe it is accurate? So all of this leads the professor to decide to look for the youngest descendant of the apparently deceased Dr. VanHelsing. Rest in peace to him, I guess. Then he says some crap about how only that person will have the artifact and the knowledge to help him defeat this awakened demon. That demon's name is Simon Magus. Uh-oh, tangent alert. Side note, Simon Magus was known in the New Testament of the Bible, the Apocrypha, and the Gnostic texts as Simon the Sorcerer. He was not a demon, but he was considered by certain faiths to be a man possessed by demons. Present-day scholars consider him someone who used a combination of religion and fakery to make a profit. This is where we get the word simony, which I just learned about and now want to use a whole lot. One of the definitions of simony is the sale of preference or salvation for currency. Examples would be promises of extra blessings from God, like financial riches or health benefits from tithes, gifts in kind, or donations. This is also referred to often as the prosperity gospel. It's what a lot of modern-day televangelists do. I guess my point originally was that he's just some dick who lied to make money off of it, and so are televangelists. They're not like these big demons or anything, but there's a definite resemblance. So, I'll let this weird misuse of religion combined with character naming conventions slide. Just this once. We've moved on to a new character and a new location. This is Michael Harris. He's an American high school student who has a butt rock band. He's a regular kid, but all of that is about to change. I guess. Michael's best friend and bandmate is a clumsy dork named Danny. When we first meet him, we find out that his dad is a US postal worker. Danny is in his own world all of the time, and his friends seem just a little bit exhausted around him. I would say more, but I think I've just realized that I'm probably the Danny of my friend group. We watch the boys' band rehearse for a really long time. Like the duration of an entire song. By this point, the plot was kind of lost on me, I was getting bored, and I had spent more time pausing the video to belly laugh than I had actually watched of the total film runtime. It was dinner time, so I decided to go grill myself some raviolis.
Suck my paninis. Yummy, yummy, yummy. It's the paid family recipe.
Don't tell anyone we grilled it. It's a Peed family secret.
The sausage probably just from the jar.
The professor shows up unannounced to Michael's home and awkwardly introduces himself to his aunt and legal guardian, Molly. She introduces him to Michael, and they discuss Abraham VanHelsing, who is apparently Michael's father. This is a serious
"You're a wizard, Harry"
moment between Michael and the professor. During this scene, we learn about the titular Lost Scepter, and Danny admits to a childhood rife with unintentional mail fraud. He then fesses up to stealing a relic from Michael's uncle's mail, the scepter. He buried it in the woods all those years ago, so he has no idea where it is. While they're all gathered and talking about the situation at hand, and out of absolutely nowhere, Simon Magus bursts in like the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah!
There's a big chase scene and a fight, and I'm not giving any spoilers today. But the film ends, and then there's an announcement for a sequel. It was never made. There are several other plot points, but none of them really affect the overarching plot for some reason. I guess they're just filler. I mean, what I do know for sure is that this film wasted a lot of my time.
Mighty Max, go to Skull Dungeon.
Wow!
Mighty Max.
Smasher, get up! Your brain donor is here. Me want brain. No way, slime face. Whoa! Watch out for that first step. It's not over, Mighty Max.
Will Max get fried? Mighty Max. You can collect all his adventure sets, each sold separately. Mighty Max figure included. From Mattel.
I guess I should show you why I spent my time with this film laughing so hard that I almost threw up. Here you go. This prop is the first thing that I saw in the film, and it made me laugh out loud. It is so obviously just a portable CD player, but they broke out the bedazzler and decided that that was sufficient. Come to London, where we totally all have British accents. We swear we're not American. Seriously.
There's something else. He won't be ready. He'll learn quickly, like his father. He will be untrained. He'll be a natural fighter.
I don't think these people have any idea what they're doing.
Careful. Ow. That was 90% gravity.
This high school chemistry class is a huge safety hazard. Carol would like a word with all of you. No gloves, no goggles, haphazard use of potentially corrosive materials, and on top of all of that, a teacher who seems oblivious to everything. This is my favorite line from the entire film. And I want you to know, it's delivered in the most Tim and Eric fashion possible.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. This time I'm not gonna do anything.
You know, at this rate, we'll experience the inevitable heat death of the universe before the professor can pick what he wants to pack for his little trip.
Elixir of life. No, not necessary.
Seven, 8, 3, 2, 5, 2, 3, 5. 7, 8, 3, 2, 5, 2, 3, 5. Disc of Pentacle. No, don't need it. 83945, 004. That would be better fit this way. I'll take a shot of that.
I mean, I would hate to take him to Baskin Robbins. Too many choices. Too many beautiful choices.
This one's for you. Didn't mean to make your tray fly. Danny apologized 1,000,000,000 times. Yo, I'm sorry, Miss Harris. Yeah, but you are for real.
And Preston, you're for real too. Listen, I'm gonna go get changed, you guys. I'm soaking wet. You clean up. I'll see you later.
Hey, yo, man. How can your aunt be so cool and so hot at the same time?
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
I'm going to bring everything to a momentary screeching halt to let you all know that they punctuated every single flashback with the villain with an explosion. And there were a lot of explosions in the film in general, and I wanted to share all of those sounds with you right now.
Well, you wanna step out, get a soda, coffee?
What's a soda coffee? I'm just gonna jam out all by myself in my car to my own demo disc. That's something normal humans do, right? I am so glad that Great Value Short Round and Kirkland Indy are so good at relic hunting and stuff brushing. Oh my god, my Discman's batteries are out of juice. How will I listen to Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water now? So I can't explain why. But this next clip, I was alone in my home and I scream laughed so loud when this happened that I thought for sure the neighbors were gonna call the cops on me.
Come on. You alright?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm like 99% sure at this point that this is just Sailor Jupiter's transformation wand. So I have a secret to tell all of you. I have a favorite word misspelling. Every single time I see the word angel spelled as angle, never fail to laugh.
A terrible day of
Before you pull it over, slip it on, zip it up, caress to feel softer. Before you button it up, slide it on, wrap it round, caress. It's the first step to feeling beautiful. It's the moisturizing body bar with bath oil. Caress leaves skin softer than soap can. Before you tie it up, clip it on, step on in, or step on out. Before you dress, caress.
The Adventures of young Van Helsing, The Quest for the Lost Scepter wasn't good at all. In fact, it was
bad. Very bad.
Granted, it was bad in more of a The Room or a Troll 2 sense. Not at all dull or boring. Acting was by and large the worst aspect by a long shot. And even the slightly more decent performances were far overshadowed by the dismal ones. Reads of scenes were all over the place, and two characters could be contrasting in tone so much that it felt like they were in a different film. And then the dialogue was so choppy that it felt like they were having separate phone conversations in different rooms. And then there were these gaps and these general delivery issues, and everything was just all flat and wrong. Beyond acting that was so bad that it felt like it should have been in a middle school play, the plot was just off the wall. There was supposedly a romantic subtext between Michael and another character, but by the middle of the film it was pretty much abandoned and there was no mention of it with any real weight to it. And then, well, tiny spoiler alert. Sorry guys. It made no difference because she ends up staying with her boyfriend and Michael doesn't seem to care at all. For some strange reason, Simon Magus has multiple origin stories? I mean, none of them make any sense to the plot, and none of them can coexist within the same world. At one point, they refer to him as a son of God, and another point, they refer to him as a son of the devil. And then, my personal favorite, they refer to him just as a skinwalker. So, which one is it? Now, Simon, you're not allowed to have all of the origin stories. That's just selfish. So I know a lot of what I just talked about kind of falls more under story continuity. But a big question that I spent the majority of the runtime of this film asking was, why Michael? I mean, aside from having some of his dad's relics that were pertinent to the story because the professor needed them, Michael was just a normal kid with a normal life. He had no idea who his birth father was, nor did he know prior to meeting the professor what his dad did for a living. In fact, he had been renamed to the surname Harris instead of VanHelsing. Michael is shown to have no secret powers, no divine intuition, and no special sense for finding the MacGuffin, but is instead shown as an average high school student, and he has hobbies, like singing like he's taking a dump, and flirting with girls by telling them that he has a glasses kink with absolutely no subtlety. He serves no real purpose to the story aside from owning some items, being in a place. He isn't special, he isn't a hero, and worst of all, he just isn't interesting. We're given these flashbacks to Michael's supposed father, and honestly, they set it too far back in time for his father's supposed age. I mean, it looks more like he could be his grandfather or his great uncle. In these little snippets of the past that they give us, sometimes we are given a time, sometimes we're given a place, sometimes we're given both, but sometimes we're given neither. I don't think the people who made this film cared if they were consistent or made sense. I mean, there are major spelling errors in subtitles. These subtitles were not DVD optional. These came baked into the final edit of the film. Everything is incredibly convoluted, and it feels like, in the big picture, things start to feel like a little kid spinning a tall tale.
So there's an explorer, and his name is VanHelsing, and he beats up vampires, and uses like old stuff and like beats them. But then there's a professor, and he digs up like dinosaurs and like people bones, and like one day he digs up a monster. It's not a vampire, but it's like its dad was God, but its dad was also the devil. And then it can make itself look like a person and like wear a person's skin. And like VanHelsing, he's like he's not alive anymore, and the professor has to like find VanHelsing Jr. and he doesn't know who he is, so he has to tell him, and he doesn't understand, but he plays music too, and then he has to like fight the bad guy, and then he like crashes his car, and then it goes.
So as far as aspects of young VanHelsing that were good, I mean, it had some moments of surprisingly decent cinematography, and some of their special effects, their props, and their set pieces looked pretty nice for a movie made in the early aughts with a budget of $100,000. The DVD was cheap. What else do you want me to say? I mean, it was terrible. I laughed a lot, but I was laughing at the film, not with it. So I spent more time pausing the film to catch my breath from laughing so hard at the awful crap that I was witnessing on the screen, at least in my first go around. I guess if you're just a glutton for punishment, or you Want something to laugh at that was never meant to be funny, or you don't believe me, or you're just really into Indiana Jones rip-off movies,
That's a little specific, but okay.
you can watch it right here on YouTube. Someone seems to have put it up in its entirety, at least for now. I can't find it on any streaming sites or, well, anywhere else for that matter. Just on VHS, DVD, and right here on YouTube. I'll post a link in the description below. So in the end, I guess, the real scepter was the friends we made along the way. Now get out of here. Take your special someone out for a nice ravioli barbecue. I've got a hot date. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more disappointment in the future. Hit the bell to be warned when I post more of my awful content. Comment, like, dislike, all that jazz. Come back and listen to me ramble again sometime. See you in the next one.